Thank you for using our large format printer. You should have received an orientation session on using the printer. This video is meant to assist you in using the computer and printer itself. This printer has a maximum print resolution of 2400 by 1200 dpi and it uses CMYK ink. It has a maximum print width of 24 inches and the media comes in rolls. The maximum print height in any one job is 120 inches. We charge a cost recovery based on our supply costs. Our regular printer paper costs $1 per foot and our other premium papers cost $2 per foot. We also have printable canvas material that costs $5 per foot. Ink costs $1 per milliliter of ink used. Typically, an 8 by 10 inch full color image costs around $2, while a full 24 by 36 inch poster costs around $6 to $12 depending on ink usage. Once the laptop is turned on, you'll need to retrieve your photos or documents. These need to be either stored temporarily on the computer or read directly from a USB drive. You can connect to the internet and download your files from your email or a cloud drive, or simply insert your USB stick into the USB slot. Once your photos or documents are ready to go, launch the program Inkscape to start setting up your print. Inkscape works best with PNG, JPEG, and SVG files. It does not read PDFs well. If you have a PDF that you'd like to print out, you'll first have to convert it to one of these other file types. Typically, if you Google PDF to PNG and click one of the first few links, it's fairly easy to do. Follow the instructions to convert your PDF to a PNG. Once in PNG format, download it to the computer and you're ready to go. It will typically download to the Downloads folder. In Inkscape, select New Document. The first thing we want to do is set our artboard in Document Properties. Select File, Document Properties, and set your units to inches. The artboard, you can imagine, is your paper. Thus, the width will always be 24 inches. You can make the height anything you want, but not more than 120 inches max. Typically, it's best practice to set your height to be a few inches larger than what you are printing. For instance, if you're printing a 24 inch by 36 inch poster, set the width to be 24 inches and the height to be 39 inches, leaving 1.5 inches at the top and the bottom. Next, we want to import our image or document. Select File, Import, and navigate to your saved image. This could be saved locally in the Downloads folder, somewhere else, or opened off a USB or other storage device plugged directly into the computer. Select Open, and the image or document will open. You may have already sized it previously, or may have not. A high-quality image will open very large, but if it's low quality, it may look very small. Depending on your desired printing size, you may have to resize the image. To do so, click the Lock button here. You can either click the image document and drag the arrows to resize. If you are used to working in a certain unit of measurement, you can change your units here to best suit your preference. Remember, the maximum size on at least one of the dimensions is 24 inches. There may be times when you want to crop your image. Let's say you want your image to be an 8 by 10, but the aspect ratio does not allow that without severely distorting the image. To crop the image to be an 8 by 10, first make sure your image is as close to 10 inches in one dimension as possible. Then select the rectangle tool and draw out an 8 by 10 inch box, or whatever size you want your image cropped to. In our example, we'll do an 8 by 10. In your Fill and Stroke tab, make sure there's no fill selected and the stroke style is 0.5 millimeters. Once you have your rectangle created, maneuver the rectangle so it overlaps the part of the image that you want to keep. Once you have both the box and image lined up, make sure both the box and image are selected. Go to Object, Clip, Set Clip. This will crop your image to the box size and you'll be left with the correctly sized image. At this point, you'll want to save your newly sized image. Go to File, Export. Make sure PNG is selected. It will show a small thumbnail what your new image will look like. Select a folder that you will remember and select Export. A very important point is that if you want to use this newly sized image, you'll have to start a new document. You cannot immediately start using your newly cropped image in the same document as where you cropped it. You'll have to go to File, New to start a new document. At this point, we can either be finished and ready to print or add other images. Remember, this is a large format printer, but it can also print smaller images, or you can even create collages with Inkscape. You could import many different images, align all the tops so they're easily cut ready, and print them all out as one document. You may also want to rotate your image for paper efficiency. To do this, you'd select Object, Rotate, and you can choose 90 degrees counterclockwise or clockwise depending on your preference. Now that you have your image document sized properly, it's time to do any adjustments to your artboard so you don't print extra blank paper. Remember, your artboard is your paper and it will print it exactly so. Thus, if you have too much length for your image, you should make any document property adjustments now. If your image does not take up the entire width of the paper, you may want to make 2 copies or add another image. Remember, you'll always be printing 24 inches of width, so you might as well use up that space instead of wasting it. At this point, you can connect the USB cord to the printer and we'll walk through how to get the print started. Go to File, Print, select our printer, the Epson SureColor T3475 series, and select Preferences. From here, we'll work our way from the top to the bottom. Select Settings should be current settings. You should not have to select custom paper size, and it will default to the size that you made your artboard in Inkscape. Source should be roll paper. Media type should be use printer settings. Unselect simple settings, scroll down, and select custom. To the right, we'll make sure color is selected for print mode. Of course, if you want black and white, you can select black. Color mode should be Epson Standard, brackets sRGB. If you want to make some small adjustments, you can select settings and adjust brightness, contrast, saturation, etc. Select the drop-down beside level and decide on the quality that you want. If you're looking for the highest quality, select max quality. Uncheck high speed and select finest detail. This will enhance any fine details of your document or image. Ensure print preview is selected. Next, go to the Advanced tab and select Save Roll Paper. This will cut the image immediately after the image or document is printed. If you plan on printing something with a large white border, do not select Save Roll Paper. Select OK and then Print. Wait a few seconds and the print preview window will appear. Ensure the print looks proper here. If something is wrong with the print, it will show up here. If your image or document looks cut off in any way, we may have to change the orientation from portrait to landscape or vice versa. To do that, cancel out of the print preview, go back to File, Print, select Preferences, and go to Settings here. Whatever was selected, portrait or landscape, the first time, select the other one. Hit OK. All the settings should remain the same. Select OK, then print again. The image should now look correct. If all looks well, hit Print. Wait for the print to come out. When it finishes, it will auto-cut. Feel free to roll the paper up and use an elastic to secure the print. At this point, ask a staff member to come over and they can check the price, and you may check out at the front desk. Congratulations on your print!